We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down a the 21. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, this defense for the Bengals, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Throwing. Prescott shakes off the sack, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of him had almost no chance to block him. They were on him in a hurry.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. The Cowboys had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. They find some open field here. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Mora, up up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. They'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 24, Burrow. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. 4th down, out comes the punter, Drew Chrisman. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very 1st quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
It was Osa Odighizuwa on the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Big DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there and bringing him to the ground.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the 1st. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the 1st down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
4 yards to go on 2nd down from the 7. They're passing here. Joe Burrow to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Here we go. Burrow going for it on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They start on the ground with Elliott.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off the play fake, Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. Finding space at the 40. Down the right sideline. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
A first down carry by Elliott. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Elliott. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
But that call makes sense, because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Rolling to his left. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here we go. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage, or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
And still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This is taken just shy of the 10. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
A first down throw for Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 41, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And they'll work this down inside the 30. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Touchdown! Dalton Schultz with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now 21-7. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Burrow. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On the counter, Elliott. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now to this point. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field.
Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Bengals grab it. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase from 17 yards out. And the Bengals get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. This is caught by Hilton. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Prescott on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Here we go, here we go.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
And so much of football is about mismatches, and here they're going to line their running back out wide to the right, and I think defensively there's a little indecision. They weren't quite sure how they wanted to defend that, and they weren't able to until he was way downfield.
On first and 10, Joe Burrow under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
On 2.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
First down there for T. Higgins. Don't let it be lost in Jamar Chase's phenomenal season. The Higgins had a big year for Cincinnati as well. Topped the 1,000-yard plateau for the first time, and he did it despite missing a few games with injuries. The third-year man could give Cincy a pair of Pro Bowlers at the position here in 2022.
Now it's Burrow. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Fields the squib kick right around the 30. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Oh, they'll try a jet sweep here with Higgins. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here we go.
3 yards remain for second down.
Here we go.
Burrow on play action. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage. It one away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
Now it's Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. And McPherson on for the extra point. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good 2nd half here. Came out of the locker room once, and Prescott his 3rd interception. Well, this has been a bit of a tough game to figure out when it comes to him throwing the football. He's got the 3 touchdown passes, but now, Charles, this is a 3rd interception.
And those aren't really numbers that you'd like to see balance out. In a normal ledger sheet, if you can balance everything, you feel good about your day. But as a quarterback, you need your ratio to be more like 3 touchdown passes to 1 interception.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll give it to Mixon. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Burrow will throw. Touchdown, Bengals. T. Higgins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. A handoff left, Elliott. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet, and the Bengals grab it. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Mixon. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
11 MT.
Another try for Mixon. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Burrow looking to pass. Touchdown! Tyler Boyd. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off an... And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
The tight end in motion right. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. This from 32 yards away. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points. But that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Get set.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
This is Mixon on the draw. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to mentally. I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we...
Now Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Prescott.
Man open downfield is Gallup. He's got it.
A big play here for Dallas. 53 yards.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
Inside give to Elliott. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first three quarters, and this deficit is going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a night,
and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with career touchdown number 70. And the Cowboys are able to cut into that deficit. So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the two-point try. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
Here we go, here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This offense so far on third down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That will be their 3rd and final stoppage, as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining.
Back to Mixon on second down. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mucked that down for a win in the defense's column.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. This is fielded at the 27. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
On 1st and 10, Prescott.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Prescott yet again. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
This likely a must-have, 3rd and goal.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Bengals are going to get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
A 1st down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They dealt the